everybody, welcome back to a new video. For anybody who's new here, my name's Jennifer. I'm a watercolor artist, originally from Paris, but living in Canada. And today I have a few little bits and pieces that I've bought in the last couple weeks, all art related, and I thought I would share them with you today. So let's get started, shall we? The first set that I got, it's a set of gouache paints from the company MEEDEN. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's this set here, which I picked out after doing a little bit of research. And I liked it because it wasn't a very expensive price point to kind of dabble in gouache. I use watercolor in the majority of my work, but I did want to use a little bit more gouache for some kind of finishing details and bits and pieces. So I thought that this would be a great set to start with. Look at the range of colors. That's, I think, what drew me to this set to begin with, because there's a lot of different tones that are very similar to the ones I use in my paintings. So obviously, you know, I'll mix them and get the exact shades that I'm looking for, but I thought as a starting point, this was quite great. And also, as I said, not very expensive. So if I happen to not like it, or if I end up not using as much gouache as maybe I thought I would, then I'm, you know, haven't spent too much money on it. But this is the set. It has 48 colors, and it seems like a really great starting point. And by the way, I'll put all of these products in the description box. So if there's anything that you're interested in kind of looking into further, then you'll have everything right there. So let's see. The second thing I can show you is actually from a kind of craft stationery store near me. And they had these little packs, and they were just $1. And they were just kind of bits and pieces of ribbon and wrapping paper that they haven't sold, or that are little cutouts, you know, when they make gift wrap and that sort of thing. And they put it all in a little pochette, and they sell it like that. And I think it's a really great way, A, to not waste, but also I know I'm gonna get a kick out of using these in a variety of different projects. Sometimes I do collage with certain of my projects. So I thought this was just a really nice way to have access to a whole bunch of different bits and pieces. So I thought I would show it to you. You might not be able to find it exactly where you live, but a lot of craft stores or any kind of store that has kind of a sustainability ethos to them might kind of do the same thing, and I thought it was a great idea. So that's my second item. From the same store, what did I get? Oh yes, this washi tape. As you know, if you've been following this channel, I really like washi tape. I use it quite a lot. And this washi tape I thought had a really nice pattern here. Let me see if I can bring it a little bit closer to you. Let's see here. Can you see it? Yes, it's a very nice kind of golden pattern. It has flowers and kind of leaf shapes. And I thought I'd be able to use it in a variety of projects. I'm looking forward to that one. What else do I have to show you? Oh yes. I went to an art store yesterday with one of my friends, and I got two colors that I will swatch. I'll insert a little clip, a separate little clip, so you can see what they look like swatched. But I was looking for a kind of dark foresty green for a lot of the projects that I do, more so in the winter time, when I paint a lot of kind of pine trees and Christmas trees and that sort of thing. So I picked up from Stoneground Paint Company the color Florentine green, and I will open it so you can take a look, but it looks like this. And it was fairly inexpensive as well. And I have used this company before, and I know that I like it. So let me open it here. And that's what the color looks like. It's a very nice kind of rich green, and I will swatch it so you can take a look. And then I also got from Szmal this color called, let's see, Potter's Pink, because I find that finding a good pink, obviously you can mix it yourself, but finding a good pink is not easy. I find that a lot of pinks from a lot of companies are just not the kind of shade that I enjoy. They either kind of looked like, you know, they look a little bit too Pepto-Bismol pink. Does that ring a bell for anybody? Where it's just not, or bubblegum pink, I guess, which is not at all the kind of pink that I like to use in my paintings. Or it's just, you know, it's just not a nice shade of pink. Sometimes it looks a little bit too maybe burgundy, or just not the right shade. So I saw this and they had it swatched there, and I thought, you know what, maybe this will be a winner. So I will insert a clip as well of this being swatched. It looks actually quite dark when I see it like this, but sometimes, you know, you want to actually try it out, because the color you see here might actually be quite different to the one on the page. So I got those two colors, and then I also got, let me see. Oh, I got these pens. I've talked about these before. They're the Jelly Roll original gel ink pens, and I got these in a set of 5, and they have sort of a gray, black, and beigey kind of tint, and I do use these, and I can insert a clip down below of how I use these pens. I usually use them as kind of finishing pens for my watercolor painting. So when I'm done and I feel like I need a little bit more finessing, I will go ahead and use one of these pens once my watercolor painting is completely dry, and I'll add little pen lines, little details, and these pens are really nice. The only thing I will say is that I usually go for a 0.8 kind of size, and these were only 0.6, and they didn't have anything else. So I'll have to try and see if I'm okay with the slightly thinner pen. So I'll take a look and I'll let you know. But I thought the color palette was nice, and these were $11.99 where I got them. So I thought it was a pretty, I'm talking in Canadian dollars, but I thought that was a pretty good price. Then I'm gonna move on, and I'll insert a clip too, so you can see this little specimen here, which was totally an impulse purchase, which I don't think I needed. But you know, these things happen sometimes. It's called a stick scissor from the company Punilabo. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And it's basically a little cat-shaped scissor, a pair of cat-shaped scissors. And they're very small, and they seem like they'll be useful and also quite cute. So I'll insert a clip so you can see what they look like, because it's a bit hard to tell in the packaging. What else do I have to show you? Oh yes, this brand, I think I might have talked about it before. These all-purpose ink pads. They're my favorite ink pads to use, and I do use ink quite a lot for a variety of greeting cards and such. And this brand is just really lovely to use. It works on fabric, it works on paper. It's easy to clean off if you get it anywhere in your studio or on your hands. And I just really like the quality of the ink. So let me show you. I got this color, which is kind of a grayer tone. And then I also got this color right here, which I'm hoping, I'll have to swatch it. Looks kind of neon here on camera, but I'm hoping that it's more of this kind of a color, kind of a lighter corally color. So I'll have to take a look. But that was my hope there. So yes, these two, this brand I really, really recommend. What else can I show you? Let's see. Oh yes, I got this from the library. This book called Get Started with Gouache by Emma Block. And it looked like a very nice book to kind of get you started, as the title says, with a few gouache projects. And I won't show you all the pages, but I'll show you a couple that kind of caught my eye. Let's see, there's a cute little grapefruit scene here, for instance, and some kind of character studies. And so the book goes through a lot of different projects. It tells you exactly what colors to use step by step. And I thought it was really well thought out. So I'll have to try it exactly to let you know. But this is sort of what I'm going to be working from to start improving on my gouache work. And then the last thing I'm going to show you, which is not actually that art related, but art related, I guess, in one way or another, is this tea. And so when I paint, I usually have a cup of tea or a cup of hot cocoa, something to kind of keep me going. And I saw in this really nice coffee shop that I went to yesterday, this tea that's Moomin branded. So tell me in the comments if you know who the Moomins are. I'm guessing you do. It's from the Finnish books, the Moomins, which I read but also watched the cartoon of a lot when I was a kid. And it's just a really whimsical, lovely story of these little characters, the Moomins. And I really like the writing in the book. It's kind of whimsical and, as I said, quirky. And I remember being very transported by all of these stories as a kid. I read it to my own kids now. And I just really also like the characters, the drawing of the characters. So when I saw the tea, I thought I really did have to give it a try. And this is what it looks like inside. So every little tea bag, there's 4 different flavors. And they're quite adventurous flavors. Like, for example, this one is black tea with rhubarb and strawberry. So maybe a bit different from the more classic teas you might be used to drinking. This one, what is this one? This one is just a lemon tea. But there's a bunch of different flavors, and as I said, I just thought the packaging was quite lovely, and I thought this would be a nice little addition to have in my studio and to reach for when I'm doing a very long painting session. So I think I've shown you all my bits and pieces. If there's anything that you're interested in looking further, as I said, I'll put everything in the description box. And please, if you've tried any of these before, comment along and let me know what you think and what your favorites are. I'll see you in the next video.